Hey guys, Krisha here. Please be cautious of any fake comments and emails you may receive from people pretending to be Mango Research. Sean and I will never, ever contact you for investment opportunities or anything of that sort. To get in touch with the real Mango team, make sure to join our official Discord chat using the link in the description below. Stay safe out there, and remember, do it Mango. And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha. And this is today's Cardano as well as Bitcoin analysis video. I have Sean with me on this one. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, everyone, and a happy freaking Monday to all of you.
That's right, it's a Monday. And how do you feel, Sean? How do you feel to start the week?
Oh, I just feel like there's opportunity around the corner. I have my eyes open, but it's kind of hard to kind of tamper my excitement because we are leaving on vacation tomorrow, and some of these opportunities may have to be kind of ignored, so to say. But yeah, there's definitely going to be opportunity. I'm going to be trying to catch them on the higher time frames. We're going to be keeping it mango. But hey, this is exactly where, Krisha, the dashboard is going to be so freaking useful. I have alerts set, and these alerts will be sent to my email, and hey, we can be trading on the beach.
Exactamundo. Yeah, so Sean and I will be keeping it mango for the next couple of days, well, until we're back. Now, we're first going to start off with the mango dashboard, okay, and then we're going to head on over to the charts because, well, like Sean said, we've got alerts set on many of these coins. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just filter out Cardano and just cut to the chase here. So, ADA. Okay, on the search, and as you can see, Cardano USDT, okay, gave us a neutral signal around 12 days ago. Okay, so I'm noticing, Sean, on the dashboard, I'm currently on that daily time frame, all right? Cardano USDT as well as Cardano BTC are both neutral on there. All right, so it's telling us that, hey, maybe it's a good time to go on vacation. Okay, but no, I have alerts set. Yes, sorry,
I'm just gonna interject over here, and I may say something here that may annoy some of the Cardano fans. But hey, guys, your job over here is to be making money, all right? Not to get too emotional on any single coin. In fact, if you can trade another coin temporarily to make more Cardano, why not, right? So I actually have alerts set, Krisha, on Ethereum and on the 12-hour, while Cardano is showing neutral. Ethereum, in fact, even over the weekend, we were posting screenshots on Seed as well as the Grove public chat on Ethereum, right? On the close that we were looking for. And the dashboard also called it 5 hours ago on the Bitcoin pairing and 17 hours ago on the USD pairing. So I have alerts set on that as well. I'm just putting it out there. We don't have the full confirmation just yet, but yeah, back on over to Cardano.
Yeah, I can see that on the 12-hour time frame. So Sean is essentially looking at this ETHUSD on the 12-hour. Give us a long 17 hours ago. Damn. And you're already up if you took a trade on that. Ethereum BTC as well, long. And you know what? I actually looked at the Ethereum BTC chart today, and it's looking good. Like, that was a very, very convincing close that it had. This one came in about 5 hours ago. If you took a trade on this, up by 1.26%, not bad at all. But now, Sean, let's get on over to the charts and see what Cardano is up to. Actually, no, do you want to start with Bitcoin first or Cardano?
We'll start with Cardano.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, currently on Cardano, I'm on the weekly time frame. As many of you guys know, we closed a weekly candle today, right? Or rather, opened a brand new weekly candle. Honestly, my honest thoughts on this chart, I still think it's bullish. Okay, this trend
this weekly close is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's good. So for as many of you know, so Sean, the one region that I was sort of looking at for Cardano, right? I had a very, very keen eye out on it, was this $1.15 region. Okay, now yes, Cardano in the weekly did close under, but what you need to understand about that region. Okay, I was looking at that on those shorter time frames. The real range here, okay, that I'm looking for Cardano to hold on the higher time frames, I'm talking about the weekly time frames, is essentially from, well, $1.32, right, which was our highs there, all the way down to, now this is the critical support here, okay, this comes in at $1.01. So now, as you can see, we're still sort of oscillating within that range. And for as long as we're in there, I think this could very well even have a revival on those macro timeframes. What are your thoughts on this?
So I'm looking on the weekly time frame at $1.09,
Okay.
right? And towards the upsides, around $1.31. This is something we talked about on the live stream on Friday too, I believe. But I do see that 102 level, 101 level as a key level as well. In fact, that might be, if we lose that, that's going to cause a cascading effect towards the downside. So it's going to be even more important. But on the mid time frames, now this is where it gets really interesting, because I just heard you mention $1.15, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I've not been looking at that level, but now that I look at it on the mid time frames, we can use the weekly level that I just mentioned at around $1.09, and the level you just mentioned at $1.15, and we'll see that Cardano is likely squeezing between those two
Yes.
levels. And if we break one way or the other, right, that's where now towards the downside, your level of $1.01 is going to be really, really important. And towards the upside, if we break that squeeze towards the upside, we have $1.31 going to be really, really important. Okay, so that's the analysis, guys. So there you go.
But I'm also noticing the Mango dynamic on the weekly time frame, Sean. It is still bullish. Okay, right now that dynamic's still bullish. It's still green. It's not giving us that neutral consolidation sign yet. So I'm liking this so far, guys. I'll be honest with you. The macro is still looking good for Cardano. Okay, it's always going to be an if this then that when it comes to your technical analysis, right? And all I see on this chart right now is that trend is still intact. Okay. Now let's get on over to. And is there any other time frame, Sean, that you're looking at for Cardano USDT?
Oh, for Cardano USDT, I'm looking at the 2-day time frame, and for Cardano BTC as well, I'm looking at the 2-day time frame. So I think both those two time frames, especially if you guys do have access to the Mango dynamic, please keep your lives really, really simple. Be part of this beautiful, beautiful trend on Cardano.
Yes.
This thing may keep going or it may not, right? We don't know. We are trend traders. We don't try to pick tops. We don't try to pick bottoms, but we just want to be in as much of the move as possible. And if you guys turn on your 2-day time frame, and again, if you guys have access to your Mango dynamic, the Mango dynamic is figuring out the trend of this asset perfectly, right? And if you guys don't have access to Mango dynamic, whatever other trend indicator that you guys are using, just go ahead and check it out, and you might be very, very pleasantly surprised with how Mango, the 2-day time frame, is keeping your lives.
Yes.
And you just have to check on it every 2 days, right? How stress-free is that?
This 2-day time frame actually looks really, really good. I'm looking at it relative to the Mango dynamic. Now, the Mango dynamic is currently neutral, okay? But I'm liking the overall structure. Now, this is something that someone had sort of brought up to me, on Cardano. This was on one of my previous analysis. They were looking at this rising channel of sorts. Allow me to draw it out for you guys. Okay, now this, of course, was a pattern play, okay? And technically, if you're just looking at the structure, we did see a break somewhere around here. Now, this was 4th of March, 2021. Okay, so we saw a break of that structure. However, notice, Sean, there's no follow through to the downside. Usually when you see these breaks, guys, I honestly look for that continuation. Okay, yes, it may not come immediately, but this is taking way too much time. Remember, this is a 2-day chart, right? Every candle encompasses 2 days worth of price action. And all I see here is that there's no follow through on that break. Okay, sorry, go on, Sean.
I mean, exactly what you just mentioned. It's going to be more important than people realize. That lack of follow through is extremely bullish, and you just can't help but, as much as people want to hate on Cardano, right? As like, you can't be emotional about this. You got to call a spade a spade. And
Yeah.
I am on most time frames, I'm leaning bullish. All right, I might be neutral in terms of how aggressive I get on my positions, right? But my mindset is still tilted bullish. Like, if you look at even the 4-hour, Krisha, like, I know we shouldn't be looking at the lower time frames, but I'm seeing an ascending triangle form against that $1.15 level that you talked about.
Oh, snap. Yes. Okay, fine. I'm seeing a symmetrical. Okay. I'm kind of, but you know me, like, I'm always looking at the wicks. So just a quick heads up on how I do this. I always take the wicks into account when I'm drawing out my patterns. Okay, so this is essentially this is what I am looking at. Sean is looking at it as more of a, that's just a horizontal line, okay, drawing out an ascending triangle. Now, for those of you who do not know what an ascending triangle is, it is a bullish pattern. Okay, it's a bullish pattern, and the probability kind of leans towards actually breaking to the upside. And yeah, I think I think this could very well be at play. However, we're gonna have to wait on that break. And notice how that break is going to line up with the dynamic as well as that 15-cent region. It's
On
all
what
sort
time
of
frame?
This is the 4-hour time frame.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's scrunched up in a range there.
Yeah,
right?
I'm seeing it now, yeah.
So it's going to really sort of tip us off on whether or not this is actually going to see continuation to the upside.
I'm liking Cardano. Yes, things on the mid to low time frames might be in a consolidation phase right now, but to me, Krisha, when you look at the weekly and you look at the 2-day, things are freaking fantastic.
Yeah. Structure is still intact, and this is where structure will always trump even patterns, okay? While this pattern did break, I want you to notice how on the 2-day, guys, that structure is still there, okay? We're still putting in higher lows, all right? And this is why structure will trump, that overall trend, that overarching trend is going to trump the pattern break. Okay, so keep a very, very close eye out on these things if you're someone who likes playing patterns like me. Okay, now Sean, let's get on over to Cardano BTC quickly. And you said you're looking at this one on the 2-day time frame as well, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Tell us what is it that you're looking at?
So now the thing about Cardano BTC, I've been a little bit more strict on it, and it did look really, really good going into the weekend. Unfortunately, going into this brand new week, I don't like the close that we just had. It's not bad at all. In fact, if you have a more long-term bias on Cardano, like most people do over here, remember, guys, the way Krish and I trade really depends on the asset that we're trading, right? So when it comes to Cardano, we aren't collecting Cardano like some of you might be doing. We don't have a long-term strategy with Cardano. We have a mid-term trend strategy with Cardano, right? But right over here, what I'm looking at on Cardano against Bitcoin is that we closed underneath the dynamic, right? I mean, not really underneath the solid line of the dynamic, but exactly underneath the line opportunity. Right? It's the blue dot over there. You guys see that?
Yep. So he's referring to this one right here. Okay, now this price point came in at let's say 2,265 sats. Okay, go on, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. So we closed underneath that, and now I believe that we're going to likely consolidate against Bitcoin. Now remember, guys, we could still go up against the USD pairing, but we're likely going to consolidate against Bitcoin between the blue dot and the solid line of the mango dynamic, right? I think we're going to consolidate around there. If, however, we break above the blue dot, that's where I can get even more aggressive on my Cardano trades, right? That's how I've been playing it. But if you guys have a more long-term bias on Cardano over even Bitcoin, you guys are looking at this as an opportunity, in my opinion. But again, this is not financial advice. Again, Krisha, if you I have my dynamic on the 2-day time frame. You guys can see how well it's been tracking Cardano on the 2-day time frame. Each time it's come down next to the dynamic, it's been a good opportunity to accumulate against Bitcoin. Right? At the moment, however, this is one of the first times, I believe, ever since the breakout that we've lost the blue dot. And to me, it's more like, okay, cool. I can just wait for confirmation, because that's how we look at the blue dot, right? It's a confirmation and validation opportunity line. So that's why we call it the op line. And if you close above that, that's when I get more aggressive with my Bitcoin on Cardano.
Bingo. And yeah, man, the dynamic has been green. Like, it's been bullish ever since Jan, right? Mid-Jan, around Jan 19th. Give or take. But this is something that I'd mentioned to quite a few of you out there, is the fact that Cardano's move has been so explosive that it's got so much of a buffer zone before,
when it comes down.
Yeah, before it actually loses the trend.
Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Like, guys, just to put it into perspective, Cardano has to lose this right here. Sean, I'm marking out the regions of, on the 2-day at the very least, I'm looking at 1,647, just a ballpark. I'm looking at that region as the low. Like, Cardano actually has to literally break that in order to break the overarching trend there.
Yeah, I see what you're looking at, and you're right over there. It needs to come all the way back down. The reason I didn't immediately see that as where Cardano needs to come down to is because I believe that we are likely, I'm not trading it that way, but I believe that we're likely going to be putting in a higher low around here.
Yeah.
I believe this is going to be the next higher low. So and that's good news for Cardano fans, because this is really, yes, we're having pullbacks, but we're doing it in a methodical way that's keeping the USD pairing, right, in a bullish uptrend. Because yes, Bitcoin, guys, you need to understand, when you're seeing your red on your Cardano Bitcoin pairing, all that could mean is that Bitcoin is going up and Cardano is taking a breather. And you're seeing that right now reflected on the ADA USD pairing, right? ADA is at $1.15 and people are bearish. That or people are sad at the very least, so depressed. Why is Cardano coming down? And that is baffling to me, because just like last week, a little bit more than that, we were just struggling to get past $1. And now we're sitting at $1.15 and people are depressed at this price. It's the human emotions of the market participants are crazy. But yeah.
It also shows like it's good insight into benchmarking. Right? Suddenly the benchmark just changes when you get into like various phases of consolidation. But anyways, now speaking of, well, Cardano compared to Bitcoin, now as you can see, you know, the Cardano Bitcoin pairing did see this down move. Let's actually get on over to Bitcoin, because as we know, that is the most important chart in the space. Okay, Bitcoin dictates everything. So here we are, Sean, Bitcoin on that weekly time frame. Right, so we just closed a weekly today, or rather, once again, opened a weekly. I really need to fix that. But anyways, we opened a brand new weekly candle today, and honestly, I think this looks good. Bitcoin looks really, really good. The range that I personally was looking at, okay, now I have a resistance point that comes in at this region right here, which is at 51,764. I know, super precise, but I'm just literally reading it out of my scale there. And well, the bottom of the range I was looking at support was coming in at 45,385. What I really like about this new weekly open is that, well, we managed to take out that mid. Now, you know that I've been sort of focusing when I'm looking at my ranges, now that we're in price discovery, when I look at my ranges, I'm always looking at that midpoint as well.
Yep.
Right, I'm looking at that as a as almost like a tip off in terms of, okay, which direction is this leaning towards, and who is in control here? Is it the bulls or the bears?
Yep.
Right, and well, the mid was coming in at 48,400, and I think this is a good picture so far. And it just appears right now on the weekly that Bitcoin is likely putting in some sort of bullish consolidation here. What are your thoughts?
No, I tend to agree, because if you do look at the mid time frames as well, you can't help but get a more bullish tilt, right? We have candle close highs and putting in higher lows as well on a wick basis. And if you again look at the previous week's candle, I'm talking about the one that we closed on the 8th of Feb, we not only defended that week's low, right, but you also took out the mid of that week's candle. So it's overall, the bulls have stepped in. Yes, albeit not with conviction, but that's pretty much what you do see during bullish consolidations, right?
Yes.
Now, again, remember, guys, when we say bullish consolidation or bearish consolidation, it just means that the potential breakout out of the consolidation is just tilted or favoring the bulls or the bears accordingly, right? It doesn't mean that it has to happen for sure, right? Even when Christian and I refer to patterns. So right now what's happening is that the bulls are, or right, the market participants are looking at dips as buy opportunities, right? They're coming in and buying those opportunities, and you're seeing price get more and more tilted towards the upside, because each dip is getting picked up at a increased pace, right? You're seeing that.
Yeah. Now, Sean, if this consolidation, okay, if it does end up being that bullish consolidation and we do see continuation to the upside, do you have targets on this?
No, not really. Not targets that I would like be like, this is the next level that we're getting to for sure. But I do have ranges within the consolidation that I'll be looking at for sure, like that I have my eyes on, and that there's one key level around 58,000. There is another key level coming in at 52,700. But I think everyone has their eyes on this one. There's another zone I'm looking at closer to around 68 to 70,000 if we break out of this consolidation, right? So 68 to 70,000.
Yeah.
Right, I'll just throw it out there.
Damn. I have something that's close, actually. Mine comes in at around 66,300-ish. So yeah, I think if we can actually break out of this consolidation and actually break to the upside, that is going to be the next region that I gun for. Right.
Interesting.
And you can see now the weekly dynamic has given us that neutral change, right? However, notice the op line. Like now that's moving up. It looks like that's moving up to meet price as opposed to the other way around. So I think this is a very, very, it's a very interesting chart that we have here for Bitcoin. Now, Sean, you were mentioning something about the mid time frames that you were looking at. Now, what time frame was this specifically?
I'm actually looking at a few time frames on the mid time frames. So let's go ahead and start with the lower mid time frames, and we'll go upwards because that will give us a better idea of how to position ourselves.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start off with the daily, Kushan. I'm going to start off with an empty chart because that really sets the tone of what to look for.
Alrighty. So I'm going to empty out my chart, remove all messy drawings, and over to you.
Okay, so if you guys do remember, we did a Bitcoin video just towards the mid of last week, I believe. It was on the March 3rd candle, right? We essentially sold the position, the trade that we took.
Yes.
We essentially hedged it rather at around 51,000, 52,000, right? Essentially, we came up against a major level over there on the daily dynamic as well as other levels that we're looking at. And the reason for that was because usually when we lose a uptrend, right, and go into a downtrend, the first retest of initiating an uptrend again is either followed with a rejection that leads to continuation of the downtrend, or in a bullish market like we are in right now, putting in a higher low closer to the previous low. Now, we did go ahead and put in a higher low somewhere around 46,300-ish, right? And that was on the 5th of March. Now, from here, what happens is really, really important. And this is where things may be a little bit unclear for people depending on what you're looking at. And this is why we look at multiple time frames and multiple indicators. We've come up, now looking at the clean chart, Krisha, we've closed a new candle close high.
Yes.
Okay. So when I look at this consolidation, I'm seeing 2 candle close highs and 1 wick high being put in place ever since we have come down from that $60,000 high on Bitcoin, right? All the way back on the 21st of Feb. So we have 2 candle close highs, the one coming in on 3rd of March, and now another candle close high at 7th of March, right?
Yeah.
But when you turn on your dynamic, right, you can see that we're right up against it. We've not cleared the dynamic yet, right? So we are still sitting up against resistance. On the daily time frame, right?
I totally missed that.
Yeah. So that's where things may be getting a little confusing, right, to people. Okay, so how do you trade this? And that's completely fine, right? When there's 2 conflicting ideas, sometimes it's just best to wait for both of those to come in line. So there's no harm, guys, in saying, hey, you know what, I want more confirmation, and I'm going to wait for the daily dynamic to close higher as well. And before that, I'm not getting into position. Okay. Other than that, if you were looking to unhedge your position that you hedged at around the 52,000 high, where would have been a good position? Well, one would have been at the bottom of the cloud, right? The Mango cloud on the daily time frame. That's where you can fish for another higher low. And in fact, Kisha, we did come down over there and we kind of got front run, right? We went right above it. But what I like to do is look for the actual op line, right, the blue dots, to start curling upwards and price start closing consecutive candles above it. And we're seeing exactly that, right? So now we may come in and put in another wick onto the op line on the blue dot, coming in at 48,586, right? We may see that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Kusha, before I go on to the...
I actually like that analysis. I think it's pretty solid, and I think if we actually do come down to rather the op line, which is sitting at 48,600 ish, that may very well be putting in a sort of a bullish consolidation here, because then if we actually do get defended there, right? If we find support there, that would be us putting in a new higher low.
Okay, I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there.
Right,
but let's go ahead and look at another conflicting idea with that. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Ichimoku. And this has a little bit of a more bullish tilt to it, Krisha, than the Mango dynamic. And I do want to point that out because, again, we want to look at everything, right? And we closed the daily candle above the Tenkin. It's not a convincing close. Like, we don't have a full body above it. However, we did close above it. right? And I'm going to be watching this next daily close to see whether we respect that Tenkin reclaim. So we could reclaim the Tenkin, but will we respect it now? I want to see a confirmation above it. If we do, then I'm going to tilt even more towards the bullish side, right? And that's only in 17 hours. So there's you don't have to wait too long for that, guys, before you get to, because yesterday we were having a conversation on the private C chat over this, right? Where, hey, you may not necessarily want to be a buyer over here. Buying underneath closer to the Mango Cloud or even the offline was completely fine, right? You could hunt for a higher low over there. But over here, I would not be a buyer of Bitcoin, quite honestly. I'd either wait for higher prices or I'd wait for a little bit more time to get that confirmation that we want to see. So this is on the daily, okay, telling us that Ichimoku daily telling us, wait a minute, we've cleared a major level, we've retaken the Tenkin. Krish, if you zoom out, you'll see that during the Elon consolidation, I call it Elon consolidation, as soon as we retook the Tenkin, we just kept going, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Give me 1 second. Let me just highlight this this one for everyone out there. So essentially, this was the Elon consolidation, right? This was that Elon candle, and while we did get rejected off of the immediate resistance, notice how as soon as price took out that Tenkin, now this was on the 2nd of Feb, right? That was us putting in that high. Okay, and technically that was a close high.
Yep.
Right, that was a close high, same story here. Okay, and then we saw immediate continuation to the upside.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of similarities. And,
I like that. I like the signatures here. I think that's a good catch.
Now, there's something else I do want to point out, which some of you might not be giving it enough credit. And I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to the 12-hour time frame, which again now is lining up with the Elon consolidation. If you look back there, Krisha, towards the Elon consolidation, you can see that we had a bearish TK cross, right? Weak bearish TK cross, considering that we were still above the cloud. We had no follow through on that, right? Which is what got us bullish. Okay, that's why we got really bullish. There was no follow through from the bears, even though they had what they needed to see to go for them in their favor.
Yeah.
And what was it followed by? It was followed by a immediate bullish TK cross again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we might be seeing, but remember the difference, and this is why we created the dynamic to begin with, right? The bullish TK cross, by the time you got the confirmation for it, price was already at around 40,000, right? Price had already moved up, and then it's a delayed trend indicator. Now we're seeing something very, very similar. We got the bearish TK cross, but you're not seeing any follow through. In fact, price even more aggressively this time is coming back and it's looking to cross bullish again.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm seeing that yet again. I'm seeing the same signatures, but of course it's not the exact same thing, but it's rhyming, right? It doesn't need to be perfect. It's rhyming enough for me to go like, hey, wait a minute, the crowd psychology over here is beginning to look a lot similar. And that's what indicators help you do, guys. It helps you stay objective.
Yeah.
Right, so again, now the final thing that's making me more bullish is on the 3-day, and this, guys, is again on the 3-day dynamic, Risha. So switch on over to your 3-day dynamic.
Okay.
I'm hiding all my horizontals. I'm keeping only my dynamic on the 3-day time frame. You can see how well we've been respecting it ever since, by the way, the 10,500 break. Ever since we broke the 3-day dynamic all the way at around $10,500, we've been going up, respecting the op line as well as the dynamic each freaking time. Now you can see that each one of these candles during this aggressive consolidation has not lost even the op line, right? We've closed above it, wicked on it, closed above it, wicked on it. And again, it looks like price is respecting that. We have 2 days and 18 hours to go, though, before closing this. So we could come down to those levels we talked about, Krisha, at around 48,200, and still close above that op line. So this is what I'm looking at, and I just wanted to put it out there for all of you guys before we leave on vacation.
I think you posed a very, very strong bullish case for Bitcoin, at least, you know, when we're looking at the TA. And also, damn, the 3-day dynamic, it actually caught the move, like the entire move, from that 10.5K going all the way up to where we are. What is that, like a good 3x? That's insane. But no, what's important to note here, guys, is what Sean mentioned, the op line. We're still living over that right now. So as long as I think that is intact, this could very well see continuation to the upside. Bitcoin is looking strong.
And that, by the way, guys, is going to be really good for Cardano, because Bitcoin going up in USD terms is going to push Cardano up. And I want to point one last thing out for all of you guys who are Cardano fans, considering we just posed a very, very bullish case for Bitcoin, right? This is going to be important. I want you guys to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart real quick. For those of you who stayed till the end of the video, this is going to be a treat for those of you who did. And the Bitcoin dominance chart, Krisha, to me is painting a sideways consolidation that is tilting more bearish to me than bullish, okay? But when you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is looking bullish. So what does that tell me? That tells me that money is not flowing between all coins anymore, from all coins to Bitcoin and Bitcoin to all coins. What this is telling me is that there's new money coming in, and a lot of that money is going towards all coins, right? And if you look at the runners in the market recently, it's been Cardano. Cardano's still looking really strong to me. So this is bullish for altcoins in general, and it's going to be that much more bullish for the leaders in the altcoin market. That's Cardano at the moment.
Yeah. BTC dominance is looking weak here. Looks like it wants to fall a little further. Damn.
It could break up, but at the moment, looks more weak than it is.
Yeah, it's very, like you said, it's very droopy here.
Yeah.
Whoa. I just drew one line and all my lines popped up. But okay, I like this. I think, so right now, I think the general consensus here is that Bitcoin as well as Cardano relative to USD, they're both looking strong. They're both in bullish territory.
Yep.
Right? And for as long as those trends are intact, especially on those macro timeframes, this bull trend is going to continue. So that's what we are. It's all about macro here at Mango, right? We're always looking at that macro trend to, get us to really give us that extra edge in terms of even our shorter time frame trades. So it's looking good right now. And yeah, I mean, this is all I have for Cardano and Bitcoin. Sean, are there any final thoughts on your end?
No, just do it Mango. Keep it stress-free, guys. We'll be away. I'll try to do a video or two while we're on the beach like I did last time. If something happens on the charts that we think is important, or hey, just to come and say hi to you guys. Maybe we do like a quick live stream. But again, no promises. I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss all of you. But yeah, keep it Mango, guys. Stick to the high time frames. Keep your lives easy, especially if you're new, guys. Please stick to the high time frames. Do not give your Bitcoin and your Cardano to the market participants who are looking to take it from you.
Boom. Now with this, guys, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the Mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.